What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I have something a little bit different this week. We've got the silver Futties, and yeah, this is what I'm rocking at the minute for the silver Futties. I've totally completed it. If you stay to the end of the video, you'll see the packs being opened and decide for yourself if you think it's worth the grind. I will tell you at the end of the video if I think it's worth it for me. But anyway, here you can see we have a semi-decent team. Ivo Da Costa. It's got some really nice stats, 95 physicality, 88 pace, really big guy as well. Obviously, Bissick is a must if you have him as a silver. I used the American Richards from the Premier League purely because I wanted him to link to the other Americans that I had in the squad, mainly with the left back here, Timothy Weah, who is another American from Juventus. Obviously, we've got Henry. I think he used to play left back at one point. I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. Quinton Timber. I can't stress enough how good this card is. Even before he was evoed, he is a must in your silver squad. He is box to box. Sorry, he's just a crazy good silver card. If you don't have him, highly recommend him. I'm not selling him, so don't think that I am. Stangs purely to link with the Dutch players there. We've got Kirk as well, super quick. We've got Brenner, decent striker, very cheap striker. Yeah, if you want a cheap striker for under a K, he's your man. And then we've got Bodu, again, pacey striker, again, really cheap links to my Dutch players. So that is what we're rocking. A lot of people will just go constant press. I'm not using constant press because I found that I was getting caught out too much. So this is what I was using. I was using press after possession loss at 50, 52, fast build at forward runs, 50 width, 7 in the box, and these were on full. If you're going to get countered, you're going to get countered. So, and obviously I've got some big guys that I needed to get in the box. So that's what I was rocking tactical wise. Instructions, I'll just jump straight into the instructions. The instructions were stay back while attacking on the left back and right back. And then everybody else, as you can see, I didn't touch, was just left on balance. Now, a lot of people, when they use constant press, everybody bombs forward and you're just left with the centre backs. You get countered quite easily, you get frustrated, you get pissed off. So therefore, I didn't want to use the counter. I wanted to use like the 7-second rule, if you like, for when they press, and that is what we did. So that's why I've kept my left back and right back on stay back. Obviously, if I want to go down on the D-pad, I'd switch these to bomb forward, which you'll see if you stay for the game clips. Now, like I say, we have a lot of game clips to get through because there was 14 games we needed to win. So there's a lot of goals in there. Highly recommend you watching how I use this formation, how I use these players to their advantages as well. And then at the end of the video, yeah, you'll just see my pack opening, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, at this point, we haven't evoed the players. We're evoing them as we go along. It's 3 games per evo. You don't need to win them, you just need to play them. So you can do 2 at once. So yeah, like you can do it pretty quick. I mean, the speed of this is pretty good as well. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. The first goal we scored is a insanely good overhead kick. I told you that Bodu card is pretty good. He's pretty good for. I mean, I was trying to build a very cheap silver squad, as well as trying to keep some kind of pace, some kind of agility in there. I wanted to kind of dominate the midfield, as that's where the majority of this game will be played, because it is really quick. You know, with the fast wingers, the good midfield cards, and I think I've got a really good balance there. I have 2 really quick wingers, very cheap cards, cost me under a K each. Didn't have them in the club, and yeah, the 2 centre mids. Stengs I had in the club, so I don't know how much was it. And Timber, I think, cost me 2,900 coins, which I think is pretty reasonable for the type of card that he is. And obviously, once you evo them, it's pretty good. Bissick I've had for a long time. I actually bought him, not realising that the evo to make him into a 95 rated was gone. I was trying to snipe him for a long time, like a lot of us were, and I didn't get him until the very last. So that's why I've still got the silver Bissick in my club. But again, decent card. I think you can build a pretty good silver rare squad nowadays. The French, the Americans, very cheap, very reliable cards to buy, and I don't think you'll lose your coins on them if you have got a bit of patience. So yeah, that's what I recommend with the 4-4-2 silvers. I don't think there's much, apart from possibly using a 4-3-3, I don't think there's really much point in tinkering around with formations or anything, because the game modes are so quick. and your opponents, you'll see here, a lot of them are golden goal. So I didn't golden goal. Nobody messaged me to ask me to golden goal or anything like that, so I didn't golden goal. I think the few people that did try and make me quit, they would score a goal and pause. And of course, at the very start of this, you didn't need the wins as much as you needed to play so many. So that's what I kind of did. I just carried this on. I didn't really quit. I think I did quit a couple. I also lost a couple as well. I also lost a couple in like the 120th minute, and I lost a couple in the 90th minute as well, which was really frustrating. And the other frustrating thing as well about how quick the time goes on this friendly is I was 1-0 down. It was the 90th minute. There was 2 minutes added on. I was on the attack, and it went to the 92nd minute. The ref blew the whistle just as I was about to take a shot, and my player air-shotted it instead. So I was a little bit disappointed with that, but that is FC24 for you guys. It frustrates us at the best of times. So I didn't expect much else. But yeah, this this was probably the most enjoyable I've had on FC24 for the last few weeks, to be honest. I like the silver stuff. I don't know why they removed it and why we're getting it so late in the game. I remember last FIFA we had some really nice Evo cards. Sorry, not Evo cards. We had some really nice old school cards. We had like Kevin De Bruyne's and Pogba's and stuff. It was pretty good, the silvers. And why they stopped doing it, I don't know. I quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more, I think, than playing Elite Rivals at the minute, because Elite Rivals, everybody's got similar cards, everybody's rocking similar formations, whereas this is totally different. You don't know what silver cards you're going to come up against. Not many people have done their research on silver cards as well, which is quite unusual. If you go online and look, people will just pick out the fastest cards. That's not necessarily the best cards. I mean, Victor Boniface, for example, is an extremely good silver card, and as I'm talking now, his price has just skyrocketed. So he's slow, but what a good card. Xerxes as well, very, very good card. Slow, but very, very good. Who else is there? Yeah, there's a few off the top of my head. There's quite a few cards that you could use that are pretty good, but again, not many people are doing their research on that, so which is kind of understandable because we've had no reason to. So yeah, I didn't do any research. I just picked out a lot of players that are in my club. Then I looked at the chemistry, and we are running max chemistry, by the way. So you don't really need to have these silvers in their correct position. However, I like to have as many getting good chem without the max chemistry side of things. I'm anal like that. It's just weird, but that's the way I prefer to do it. But yeah, Da Costa, I did before I evoed him. I wasn't too keen. His physicality was good to go alongside Besic, but he would get caught on the wings. Then we evoed him, which gave him plus 10 pace, I think it was, which made an absolute difference. And bearing in mind, I've no cards on these players at all. I don't have Hunters, Shadows, anything on these cards whatsoever. They're all base cards, purely because I don't want to waste those type of playstyles if we're not going to have this that often. If I finish it now and we don't get it again, then I might as well just sell what I've got. But I'm kind of hoping that EA put a few more silvers in there. That would be pretty cool, especially similar to last year when we had those old school type cards as well. So that would be pretty cool if they added that again, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, you can see here, you can tell when you're up. I mean, I paused the game, or if I didn't pause it, I checked it at half time, and I think 9 out of 10 people were just using the standard 4-4-2, but as a constant press, which is absolutely fine. It suits my play style. I know how the constant press works. I know where their players are going to be, so therefore I can counter that, which is why we use the press after possession loss rather than the constant press. If you use the constant press, you will leave massive, massive gaps everywhere. And while that is good if you're trying to get a goal or trying to come back, it's not so good if you end up playing 80, 90 minutes, going to extra time, and your players are knackered. So for me, it's about balance, and the balance for me is if somebody's using constant press, I'm going to counter that with press after possession off rather than countering it with a constant press. That's my opinion. That's the way I find it to work best. I also, if people are using that in rivals against me as well, my gold teams, again, I will use press after possession loss for that also. But this is the quickest way and the easiest way to get those really quick wins, those easy wins as well. Like I say, I think we ended up playing around about 20 games. We did lose a few, I already said that. But we managed to do this just over an hour. I think it was about an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes. It was very easy wins. Like I say, 9 out of 10 people were doing goal on goal. Those that didn't, once you got 3-4 goals up, they quit on you anyway. So it was very rare that I was coming up against people that were playing the full 90, unless we were drawing and we went into extra time and things like that. So yeah, that's why I keep saying it's easy wins, because it is an easy game mode. Once you have the players in the right position and you have the right type of players, it's like here. That's an easy ball through to the middle, sweaty in it, and yeah, that's why I say easy wins, guys. Easy wins. That's what we want. We want no stress. We want easy wins, and I think this is probably the best way to do that. Obviously, if you're more comfortable using a constant press, use my setup, use constant press, but your players will be out of position and you will get caught on the counter attack. So just bear that in mind. So yeah, we've only got a few more goals to go, and then we will be at the pack opening, which again, let me know in the comments below. We've got a few more seconds, so before you get to that point, have a guess if you think it was worth it, if you think we packed a top tier footy or a top tier icon. Yeah, we're just going to keep these goals coming and coming and coming, because we scored a lot. I should have made a note of how many goals we actually scored, but I didn't. But again, it was 14 wins needed, played around about 20 games, and get goals like that. I mean, yeah, it was pretty good. And naturally, it's a wide formation. Everybody knows how the 4-4-2 works. I'm not going to bang on about the 4-4-2. I think it's more about these silver players, in my opinion, and how good some of them really were, and why I've not tried them before. That's my own fault for not trying the silvers before. But we've not really had anywhere to try the silvers. We've not had any cups or tournaments or anything like that, and nobody's going to do a foot champs or a division rivals with silvers. It's not going to happen unless you're stupidly good at the game. And I know there's a few people out there that would use silvers and probably have used their silvers. But this is probably the first time we've had real reason to use them. And that Tala card that my opponent had, it was a really good card as well. Really, really difficult to get to grips with that card. And as you can see there, we give away a penalty. And we get a red card. Now, this bit of gameplay here, I mean, I don't know what he was doing here, but he totally fucks that up. But anyway, we get a red card. We haven't changed nothing at this point in time. You can see the big, massive gap we've got in our defence. But because I know my opponent's constant press, we managed to sneak through his defence, get a 1-0. I quickly pause the game, and then I make some changes. I basically make it that my centre-backs, the player that's missing is striker, basically. So we're a 4-4-1 at this point. And I just wanted to show, although we don't get a goal here, I just wanted to show at the end of the game, we do eke out that 1-0 win with the formation that we've got. And you can see there, 97 minutes. We played 5 minutes over, which was crazy. Let's jump into the pack opening. And yeah, we'll see if it's worth it. So you can see here I'm doing it all kind of live, semi-live. The only good thing so far was those players. Those players look really good. Dumfries is an insane card. Lookman was pretty good. Correa, I'm not too sure about, but I will give him a try. I'll give them all a try. Of course. So we have about 8 packs to open up, and you can see here from the pack list of what we've got. 85s, 82s. The best one there was an 87 times 4. Well, I say it's the best one. But anyway, we'll jump straight into the first pack. You can clearly see there is an icon in there. And if I remember rightly, it was a birthday icon, stack, crap card. No use for that card whatsoever. So, first pack there, closer. 91 rated, already have him, so we all know what's going to happen next. I'm just going to keep an eye on it and bin the other two, because there is literally no point in me doing anything with these cards. Move on to the next pack. Again, it's a card that I probably already have. It's Kunde, and yeah, it's 2 packs down, and you can see there's a Path to Glory hiding behind him, and it is not a very good Path to Glory either. It's Cerny. So 2 packs, 2 disappointing pulls really. So yeah, we'll move on to the next pack. 84 plus, all golds. Again, disappointing. So yeah, I mean, although it took around about an hour and 15 minutes to complete this, it's not all wasted, because if you don't have the fodder, you will definitely get the fodder. I have the fodder. I have a lot of players in my club, So therefore, for me, this type of stuff here was just totally irrelevant. I didn't need 84s, didn't need 85s, didn't need 83s. So yeah, very, very disappointed with the grind. I wonder if you guys guessed correctly in the comments below on whether this was going to be a good pack opening or not. And so far, very disappointed. Here we get João Cancelo. Again, readily available card, very cheap to buy. Not really worth it. You can see there's a Thunderstruck hiding behind him as well. Do we think it's a decent Thunderstruck? It's little. Or again, this card is so cheap. And I think it's another card that I have. Yeah, it's a card that I have. So yeah, we'll throw her away. 83 times 20, 87 times 4 is left. Here we have a TOTS card, I think it is. Yeah, well that's Mascherano, this one here. And then behind that we have a TOTS card, and it's Romero. Now Romero for me is a usable card because I run a Prem team, and he is one of the cards I don't have. So you can see here it's a pretty good pack, that one. A very good pack, in fact. The discards, however, are apart from Casemiro, yeah, the discards. So we'll move on to the 87 times 4. So far it's been pretty crap. That's going to be little again. Again, we've just binned her. So behind that we have another Plastigoric. Oh, and it's Cerny again. A lot of duplicates. So yeah, for me the grind wasn't worth it. Let me know if you like this type of video. Hit that like button if you like what you see. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, everybody take care. Look after themselves. And I hope you guys do a lot better than what I did. Take care.